agenda for today is going to be you working. You can work together. You can work in little clusters or groups. You can move your desks around. And I'm going to float around and help you and make sure that you're on track and offer some hints and tips and stuff. And then tomorrow when you walk in, you'll have a FIP quiz. And it'll look very much like the kind of conversions that you'll see on your test, but it's a FIP quiz. And then we'll go over it. So let's do the first one together. So we're given 125, what's that symbol? What does that stand for? Micro. And it's actually, the symbol is called mu. It's a Greek letter. So 125 micrometers or micrograms, we'd like to know how many kilograms that is. Because you're going to do all of these with scientific notation, you're never going to put in 100 or 1,000 again. It's really easy if you convert all these to scientific notation to start with. That's my first tip. So we're doing a factor label. Whenever you do a factor label, your given goes in the first box. So I'm going to start off with this. 1.25 times 10 to the second micrograms. And I know that the units that are going down here to cancel have to be what? What units do I have to have? Micrograms, yeah. The units in the second spot have to match those units so that they'll cancel. And we're always going to go through our base units. So above that I'm going to have grams. Well, the units that I want to end up in, of course, are kilograms. So I'm not done. I'm going to put grams down there again so that they match, so that I'll be able to cancel. And then I'll have kilograms there. I always try to stick my 1 in with whatever has the prefix before I can do something stupid, because I'm prone to doing that sort of thing. And then your power of 10 goes where? Always, always, always with the base. Yeah. So micro is 10 to the what? You can look at your note card. Negative sixth. And kilo is 10 to the what? Third. It's easier to do. I started doing that whole really sort of preaching and repeating and repeating and repeating. Power of 10 goes with the base, power of 10 goes with the base, for a couple reasons. One was I used to find that students would go, well, where does it go? Is it top or bottom? Is it top or bottom? It doesn't matter if it's top or bottom. And you can just like throw that right out the window. Top and bottom has nothing to do with it. It goes with the base. And if you line up your units so that they cancel, you're always going to know where the base is going. So it kind of simplifies the whole thing. It's one thing you don't have to think about. Okay, so now let's do the math. So that gives us 1.25 times, well, it was 10 to the second. We're adding negative sixth plus negative sixth, and we're subtracting 3. And I always write those down because you're going to have a long chain of them. And, you know, I can do that in my head. You probably can, and you probably can 7 out of 10 times correctly, but it would really stink to get a 70% on your test because you screwed up your exponents. So, okay, so that gives me 1.25 times 10 to the 2 minus 9, negative 7th, and my units are kilograms. Based on having seen the video, based on having done the quiz from the video, do you feel, where are you at with this?
I feel like I need a lot more.
Okay, and that's what I'm going to give you. Do you want to do one more together, or are you okay to cut loose? All I need to do one more together is a twitch. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. Okay, so the second one, and I can always make more practice sheets. Have no fear. I have an endless supply of problems. Though I notice that friends and family member birthdays tend to creep into the numbers because you can only make up so many numbers at random, and you just start having to think like, oh, I'll make that her birthday. Oh, I'll make that his birthday. Okay, so we have, 21.3 kilometers, and we're being asked to convert that to centimeters. And I gotta tell you, this is stupid. Kilometers are a unit it's a big unit. It's used for like driving distance. Like it's 10 kilometers from here to Rogers. Would you ask how many inches it is to Rogers? No, it's ridiculous. This is for practice. But you know, it's frankly kind of dumb. But that's okay. We're getting good at these. So, we got 21.3 kilometers. We want to know how many centimeters that is, which is just silly. First thing I'm going to do is convert that into scientific notation. 2.13 times 10 to the first kilometers. And that'll just make everything easier. What it saves on is having to move the decimal point once you're in scientific notation, which I've told you, I screw up, and based on lots of years of students doing chemistry, students screw up too. So we have our given, which is going to go in our first box, 2.13 times 10 to the first kilometers. And I know that what units have to go in the next space on the bottom? Kilometers. And I'm always going through base, so what goes above? What's my base unit? Meters. Now, I'm not done with kilometers. I'm not just converting to kilometers. So I need to go one more step. So I know, again, what needs to be down here? Meters. And the final units I'm going into are centimeters. So I'm going to put that there. Okay, so I'm just going to check to make sure all my units will cancel. Yes, I end up in centimeters, which is what I want. Yes. So now I'm ready to put in some numbers. I'm going to do the ones real quick so that I don't screw up. And my powers of 10 always, 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 always go with the base. So kilometers, what's the power of 10? 10 to the third. Cena, what's the power of 10? Negative second. Okay, so, oops. Now I do 2.13 times 10 to the 1 plus 3 minus negative 2. So what's my power of 10 going to be when I'm all done? 6. Yep, 4 plus 2, 10 to the 6th centimeters. So, you know, 2 million centimeters, which is just silly. 21 kilometers would probably get you up to North Lima. It's 10 kilometers to Rogers, another 10 kilometers. Yeah, maybe it'd get you up to Columbiana. So Columbiana might be about 20 kilometers away. It's part of my campaign to teach my students to think in metric. Okay, you good? You want to start practicing? You can move your desks around. You can work in small groups. I'm going to float around and like pop in and spy on you. I also recommend don't do the whole sheet before you check answers. So get 2 or 3 done, check your answers. That way you know early on if you're doing something wrong. Calculators are over there, as you know.